Well, hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Runestone. Today we're going to do, that's right, the top 10 Lotus cards in all of Magic. Now, at number 10, we're going to start off our list with Lotus Blossom. It's from Dominaria Remastered or Urza's Sega. It's a rare going for a whopping $3.20. Nothing too exciting already on the beginning, but I do love the artwork. It says for 2, during your upkeep, you may put a petal counter on Lotus Blossom. Sacrifice it, add X mana of one color to your mana pool, where X is the number of petal counters on Lotus Blossom. Play this ability as a mana source. Well, other than the picture, I decided to put this on the list because it's from Urza Sega, which is a really good set. So let's move on to number 9. We have Gilded Lotus from Dominaria. It's a rare going for $2.08. And this one is quite self-explanatory. It costs 5 and add 3 mana of any one color. Reason why it's at number 9 is, well, at 5, you feel like you should be playing some other cards. Though it does add 3 mana, I can see this being good for like a green deck with if you can't get land out. But I love the artwork like every Lotus card. So let's move on to number 8. We have Timeless Lotus from Dominaria United. It's a mythic going for $16.66. Well, it costs 5 mana, which is somewhat of a hindrance, but it comes into play tapped and add each color of the mana pool from Magic. And well, I don't need to say much more. You can have quite a universal when you're playing this, and creatures win the game cards. This is the card you want to use. So let's move on to number 7. We have Lotus Bloom. It's from various sets, a rare, going for just $2.25. I personally like this card, so I bumped it up, I suppose, a little more than it should have. It has to spend 3, but it's 0. So sacrifice it, add 3 mana of any one color. So you have to wait 3 turns. And I believe if you can get this first turn and having 3 mana as well as 3 mana of any color in your pool by turn 3, it can do a lot of damage depending on what you want to do with it. So let's move on to number 6. We have Nyx Lotus from Theros Beyond Death. It's a rare going for $4.42 on the average. It does cost 4 mana, but enters the battlefield tap. Okay, I'm going to say but again. Choose a color. Add an amount of that color equal to your devotion to that color. So if you're doing a monocolor deck, this can absolutely destroy with the amount of mana you want to do. And that's why it's at number 6. But let's move on to number 5. We got Lotus Petal from various sets and various grades, because from the vaults and all that stuff, it is mythic. So I'm going with the average price of $23.21. This one as well costs 0, which I absolutely love things that cost 0. And it says sacrifice, add 1 mana of any color to your mana pool. Play this ability as a mana source. And well, that's about it. I just like the artwork, and it is probably one of the most popular cards from Tempest. But let's move on to number 4. We now have Lotus Veil from Weatherlight. It's a rare going for $34.96. It is on part of the reserve list, so maybe that's why it's bumped up in value. It comes into play, sacrifice 2 untapped lands or bury Lotus Veil. Well, guess what? It says add 3 mana of any one color to your mana pool. For sacrificing 2 lands, you're gaining the bonus to playing that. Third turn, if there's no special ways, for 3 mana of any color, this is a must-have if you're going to do any kind of multicolored deck. So let's move on to number 3. Well, we got Lotus Field from Core Set 2020. It's a rare going for only $5.46, which I'm very surprised because it is exactly almost like the last card. Except for this one has hexproof. It enters the battlefield tapped, so maybe that's the difference. And we're sacrifice 2 lands, add 3 mana of any one color. It has hexproof. That is one reason why it is at this spot. The hexproof is just changes everything. So let's just move on to number 2. And now we got Jeweled Lotus. It's going to be from Commander Legends or Commander Masters. It's a mythic going for an average price of $88. So that is one of the most expensive cards in Commander. Costs 0. I absolutely love it. Absolutely. Sacrifice it, add 3 mana of any one color, spend this mana only to cast your commander. So if you have a cheap commander, you can get it out first turn, maybe second turn if you're really having a very expensive one. Either way, you get this changes everything when it comes to commander decks. You need this card 100%. So let's move on to number 1. Well, I thought I'd mention it anyway, but I guess we all know that this is the number 1 Lotus card, Black Lotus. It's from various old sets. It's a rare. And I'm guessing the average price between 12K to 57K, depending on what you want to buy, because right now the beta is actually more expensive to buy than the alpha. Again, if you somehow don't know this card or Magic, it does cost 0, and it says add 3 mana of any single color of your choice to your mana pool. Then this is discarded. Tapping this artifact can be played as an interrupt. Again, interrupts do not exist anymore, so we'll just say instant. This mono artifact. Love the artwork. Christopher Rush is a great artist for Magic, and this is an amazing card. I don't even have to go into it. So I hope you guys enjoyed the top 10 Lotus, and I hope you guys have a good day and a good evening.